Hi, I'm Samer. My father was born in East Jerusalem. Although his family originates from the west side of the city, they were forced out of their home in 1948. And my mom, she also comes from East Jerusalem. She continued living most of her life in Palestine. She studied there and was a school teacher for a while there. In 1983, my dad got a scholarship to study in the United States. We spent some of our time while my dad was doing his master's and PhD in the United States, and my brother was born there. My mom preferred for me to actually be born in Jerusalem than to be in the United States. Me being able to stay connected to my country, go back there anytime, was far more important. When my sister turned 16, it was time for her to get a separate ID card from my mom's. Her first application was refused. She was asked in for an interview, and after the interview they came up with a shocking conclusion or a decision that basically both me and my sister had lost our citizenship. The crime we were accused of is having a US passport. Although we didn't have one, that still did not stop them from taking away our citizenship. Over time, it had become more hard and hard for me to go back to Palestine. They told me if you apply as a foreigner, you might get in. I didn't. I refused to apply to a foreigner because I knew if I acknowledged that I was a foreigner, then I'm acknowledging at the same time that I wasn't born in Jerusalem. My mom got cancer in 1994. Her first operation was around my birthday. Everybody had forgotten totally about my birthday, except her. She made sure with told one of my aunts to make sure that I get a present on that day. My mom continued to have cancer throughout that period. From 1994 to 2010, it just kept on coming back to her. She would do the chemotherapy thing. My mom got sick in the year 2010. She was visiting my grandpa in Jerusalem. She felt really ill. Basically, I got a paper from the Red Cross asking me to try to get to there as soon as possible. It's a matter of days. Me and my sister applied to the Israeli consulate here in Boston, while my father tried to apply through the Israeli embassy in Jordan. My brother, American, he went in straightforward, and he was able to see her. Going through the Israeli consulate, first of all, it was the most humiliating event where the searching process is much farther worse than you could ever imagine from the TSA. But I wanted to do that, and I was willing to apply as a foreigner. And I showed her the paper from the Red Cross that it's only a matter of days. She asked me, if you spent all this time in the US, why don't you have a US passport? And I was thinking in my head, I spend more time in Jerusalem. I'm born in Jerusalem. Why don't I have a Jerusalem ID card? My mom ended up passing away. I wasn't allowed to see her. My sister wasn't allowed to see her. My dad only got a visa after she passed away to bury her. She did not go to Israel. Israel came to her. She lived there for 14 years before Israel ever came to her. But that didn't save her from any discrimination. My mom was forbidden from seeing her family while she was on her deathbed. And what was her crime, or what was our crime? I don't know. I guess my biggest crime is I'm a Palestinian. I'm not entitled to have rights. And that's my mom's story. She firmly believed that she had the right to go there, and she was the strongest believer in that in my family, and that's why I take inspiration. Sometimes I had doubts that I was gonna go back, but I know for sure now, or I'm a believer that I'm gonna be living free in my country as an equal, hopefully one day.